Hey guys, I have Dee Samii here with me from High Reach. Hey,
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Early bird gets the worm. You know how we do.
Yeah,
On my second cup already.
well, I'm chilling a little bit because I'm a little bit sick and under the weather. So only two espresso, and what it's like nine something. But both of us really wake up and start hassling very early. Uh,
Yes.
Is pretty much the only one that if I get a text from her at 7 a.m., I will reply. If anyone else do that, I don't, because and we'll get to that in a moment. When Dee sends me an email or a text, that means that there's an opportunity and we have to try and get it right now.
Yeah, we're hustling. We're always like, you
Yeah,
got it now.
yeah, we met in MJBizCon, the biggest cannabis trade show in the world, with Danny Keith, my good friend. We had a very nice limo ride in Vegas to see some of my clients. We had some
hmm
marketing and branding stuff over there and activities, and D and I started talking and found that so
We got something going on here.
we got something going on here, yeah, and yeah, so we're working together, and Dee is the owner of High Reach with your husband, right?
Yeah, no. So we moved out here and we got approached to run the High Reach company.
Gotcha.
As my husband is the CEO of the company and some part owner, and I have a percentage in the company as well, and I do all the strategic branding marketing. So co-owner slash
And
strategic
you came
marketing
and you came here to the West Coast, to California from the East Coast, right? From New York.
from the East Coast. It's a funny story. So we just recently sold our house in New York, and we were looking for a change, but we couldn't find a new house. So we just said, you know what, let's just put our stuff in storage and just go to the West Coast for just the summer, just to have fun. So we packed up the family and we went. And when we got here, we were just like, you know what, we want to stay. And then my husband happened to be making a movie with University Comedy. And I was like, you know what, let's just stay. Well, it was his idea. And I guess turns come to find out it was his plan the whole time. And and so we just stayed, and everybody thought we were crazy because they're like, wasn't you going on vacation? I'm like, no, we're actually here
Now it's
to
permanent
stay.
vacation.
Yeah, it's a permanent vacation. So
So
yeah, it was
tell
a spontaneous move.
that's great. I love this. And so tell me a little bit about High Reach.
High Reach is amazing. So when I came out here, we were working on the movie, but also we had a marketing company, entertainment company, in New York. And we always frequent LA anyway for clients and events and things like that. So it was only natural when we came out here and we saw the whole cannabis industry, like so many other people from different professions. It was like, whoa, you can just apply what we do in our regular profession, in entertainment and just mainstream media, and apply it to the cannabis world. So we did. We hit the ground running with High Reach, which started as an influencer marketing company,
Yeah.
where we go after lifestyle influencers to market brands, cannabis brands. So when we started doing the lifestyle influencers and the cannabis brand, we felt like one-offs wasn't as effective as if the influencer had a stake in the brand, or if influencer had more of influence of the brand and say with the brand. So we started doing a lot of co-branding strains with different influencers, and we started just expanding High Reach to offer different lifestyle events. So events, music videos, product placement, podcasts. So we really want to take brands and put them in lifestyle situations where everyone will see it. So we'd put them in boutiques and
Right.
just
So
just different things.
this whole lifestyle, because people call the cannabis industry blah blah blah. At the end of the day, it's lifestyle, it's consumer goods,
It is.
and it's wellness, it's pharma. It's not about cannabis
It's not.
and all that. you really focus on this whole lifestyle thing. And I remember we did some stuff with some videos and
Mm-hmm.
the Golden Globe Awards and all that. I would like to speak for a moment about this
Yeah.
thing and how it helps positioning the brand and positioning the product, because a lot of people forget that positioning is really, really important to create brand equity in uh, since the cannabis industry is so saturated and the competition is so fucking crazy all over.
Brands, 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 brands.
Yeah. So you don't really have a brand if no one knows about you, and if you don't have a following, and if there's no emotional connection to a particular target audience. And
Yeah.
positioning is really important.
So I think that the biggest hurdle that cannabis brands are having right now from taking them here to here is that they're not understanding marketing. They're just not understanding it. And you have to think back from, okay, so I feel like, it's my opinion, that entertainment is the catalyst of all brands. If you position yourself in entertainment, everybody gets their style from rappers or from from singers and
Yeah,
pop stars. That's what the style comes in at. They tell you what to drink, they tell you what to eat, and they tell you what to smoke, and everybody follows suit, period.
right.
So and that goes along with influencers, and from that birthed influencers and the whole online market. So I think cannabis brands are kind of forgetting the core essence of marketing, and that goes with making people feel a connection with your brand,
Exactly.
making people have some type of feeling towards your brand. If I feel like your brand is talking to me as a mom, I talk to a lot of people that, they feel, a lot of moms that feel like there's no brands out there that actually talks to them,
Right.
So, and then finding your niche and going after that niche. And that's what we do at High Reach. So, it's not all about the video placements and things like that, but it's about connecting with your market. So if a mommy blogger, say like an influencer mommy blogger, was to talk about a CBD brand that actually helps her get to sleep or calms her anxiety when her 3, 5, and 7-year-old children are driving her crazy, but she still has a stigma on cannabis because it's the drug, and
Sure.
especially in your late 30s, you're still in that stigma of drugs. I don't know about that in the house or whatever. So if you educate, number one, and then also give them something that they feel like, let them know that it's other things besides just smoking. A lot of people don't know, like when I came to LA, I saw a whole new market, and I'm coming from a business standpoint. And I said, okay, well, I can apply what I do right now and apply it to this. But a lot of people on the East Coast don't really know that there's vapes, there's different, everything. Everybody just thinks about edibles is brownies and cookies. That's
Yeah.
it over there. So they don't know that a cannabis brand, a edible, a CBD to THC, you could do a 2-to-1, and it totally relaxes you and makes you feel like you had a Xanax instead of putting all of that drugs into you. You know what I mean? You're putting natural resources into you. So a lot of brands, I feel like they have a lot of work to do because they don't value the marketing aspect. They just live from paycheck to paycheck, meaning from month to month, with sell to sell, and not really saying, you know what, let me put 10% or 15% aside for our marketing efforts, and not just one-off events, but like
Right.
really putting it aside and saying, I'm going to structure and plan this out, or I'm going to hire this company, a company like High Reach, to say, to see what should I do for the next 6 months.
It takes me to something that we talked about so many times, and I talk about with so many salespeople and marketing people. It's all about planning ahead. Don't just oh, there's an opportunity. I don't know if I can do it. I'll do it. Plan ahead. Now we're on February, so plan 2020. Estimate and predict how much money you're gonna make. Okay, this
Mm-hmm.
whole year, not this month, the whole
Oh
year,
yeah.
and decide how big of a chunk of that money that you're gonna make you're gonna put in right now and all along the year into marketing.
Yeah.
When you use influencer, I had someone, a client that we talked about, not in cannabis at all, and he reached out to me regarding influencers, and he's like, "Yeah, we need an influencers, but I want to find someone, and we'll create sales and sales." And I'm like, "That's not how you use influencers.
No.
If you want to really, get everything you can, you need to think long term, as you said, educate, create a connection, start having a following, start people remember your name, and then with time you'll see more and more sales.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe, okay, you'll put $10,000 right now, you expect to make in 24 hours $10,000, $20,000 in sales. It will never happen.
Yeah.
It will
And
never
a lot
happen.
of people don't know that, like, when you do your focus group and you see who likes your product and you base your packaging. A lot of people don't do that, but just base your packaging when you do your packaging and you see who's attracted to it more.
Right.
I had a couple of clients that, well, just very short-term clients that I looked at that packaging and I saw something totally different from what they saw. And they were like, oh, and you know what they did? They marketed their product because of the way they felt towards their emotion. And I'm like, that's a big mistake. Like, just because you grew up listening to Wu-Tang and you have a great connection to hip hop doesn't mean that your product is supposed to be in hip hop videos. Like, it just doesn't. I had a connection with it. I felt like, women travelers will love this little short, like, little thing. It fits in the palm of your hand. It's perfect. Skateboarders, that it won't drop off your packet. A lot of people don't like the pins because they're too thin, and what they do for work, they just lose it all the time. So, like, I felt that way, and he totally felt the opposite. And needless to say, I don't really want to go in with it, but he's not really doing that great in his company. And I felt like in 2019, in the beginning of it, it was the boom, and a lot of investors invested a lot of money in it. And to people that just growers or cultivators that they really didn't know how to grow a business and scale a business, and they lost a lot of money. And that's the reason why where we at right now.
That's the story of the industry. I mean, as amazing as you are with growing, cultivate, understanding terpenes and all this stuff that I don't understand.
Me neither.
I have no idea about that. Okay, I'm just learning. Okay, it doesn't mean that you know how to grow a business. You probably were growing for the last, I don't know, 10 or 20 years, while we did marketing and business for the last 10 and 20 years.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
You will grow the pot. We will grow your business. What happened is that they design and think and everything for themselves. Oh, I like this logo, or I don't like this logo. It doesn't matter if you like the logo. It doesn't matter what you think about your product. What matters is what they think. It's not about you. It's about them, the client, the consumers. If they like it, you will succeed. If they don't, you will fail. And this is the story of the last 2 years in the cannabis industry. And that's why this whole industry is going down. And very smart, big pockets that didn't get into the industry. I don't want to drop names, but those are household names of investors and big sharks. They waited and waited and waited because they knew that the shit's gonna hit the fan, and then they will have normal prices for cannabis companies. And now they are going in the game, and they bring their own marketing people because they understand marketing, business, and branding. You will grow,
and algae,
and we will do all the rest. So this is a really important, point. If you want to get to influencers, don't do the work. Go to people like Dee. She knows how to do that.
Yeah.
So,
and even in the last 6 months, you started to see companies bring on other from people from different industries. So you
Yeah.
just started to see, and sometimes that works, and sometimes if you're not around the culture, you don't understand it, and you don't know how to market to the person, to the people, you know. So sometimes that's a hit and miss. That's why you see so many CEOs
Lots of
dropping
changes.
down or going to the next company, because it's like, you know, not everybody's going to get the cannabis industry. And fortunately for like people like you and I, we kind of got it right away. And I think that's because of our background. You know, you were into a party and having fun back in the days. And the same thing with me too. I come from
You need
the
to come
whole
from
hip
the
hop
street.
era.
Yeah, if you're not coming
Yeah.
from the street, if you're not urban, you don't get it. I
Yeah. So
don't
it's like,
smoke, by the way. I
I,
stopped doing drugs, you know,
yeah.
but I'm still a
You get
street
it
kind
because
of
you
guy.
did it for so long, so you know what it is. And also, I don't smoke flower, but I do a lot of my microdosing and vaping, and that helps me only for the things that I need help with, like sleep, because I'm always hyper and I need to go to sleep. A little bit of anxiety because I have two boys that drive me crazy, and I'm
Wow.
running three different companies, so you know I'm always I gotta calm down. I have to shut it off. So um speaking of that and kind of educating, I have a podcast called Women in Cannabis, and it's
Nice.
basically interviewing and talking to women in cannabis and what drove them to smoke cannabis or what drove them to be in cannabis and have their own brand or market a company.
What is the biggest tip or the most important aspect that you can give people when they think of doing their influencers marketing?
So don't think that one influencer is going to change your whole company, is going to turn your whole company around. A lot of these influencers don't have the influence of buying power, of purchasing power from their fans. So make sure you look out for that. Make sure you look out for influencers that sell to their fans, to their followers a lot, because then that engagement will drop down too, because nobody likes to be sold to. When you actually, I'm giving you a few tips, right?
Okay,
And
let's go
when
for it.
you act, when you actually are looking for influencers, make sure that the product that you want them to promote is actually within their brand message. You don't want a skateboarder promoting flowers. Like say, I just pick flowers first, just so or to say, hey, I love flowers around the house, because that's not their fans. Their fans are gonna want to buy skateboarders and helmets and, you know, fun things, because that's their fan base. But and try to do not a one-off campaign. Try to do a several of six to really measure if that influencer is right for you. And don't overpay for influencers.
As long as it's authentic, you know, your product is authentically connected to the influencer. And when you see that the engagement on this influencer's posts is high, okay, not he has 500,000 followers, but he gets like 50 likes and 2 comments. That's
Right.
nothing. That,
That's
that's
a red flag, actually.
that's a red flag. It won't help you. And, you know, it's just like any other thing. Put influencers in your marketing mix.
Yeah.
Don't just do influencers and that's it. Don't think that you'll put, you know, $20,000 in one campaign and that's it. We're
And
good.
you're done. Yo,
You're,
yeah. No.
you're not.
You have to have an ongoing plan. So
Yeah,
yeah. Don't look at followers. Make sure you look at the engagement, like you said.
exactly.
I'll take
Well,
50,000 followers over 500,000 followers. If
every
their
day.
engagement, yeah, if their engagement is high, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah, totally. It just works much, 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 much better. Better ROI. Uh, Perfect. Um,
Yeah.
it was actually a perfect way to end this influencers marketing discussion. It was really great as always, and
Yes.
really enjoyed having you here. Good luck with your podcast and with the dinner at the Hills.
Yes. I got one more thing to say. I have to
Yeah,
say one more
sure.
thing. So with High Reach, we just started a new program for brands, for cannabis brands, and it's called the Lifestyle Marketing Campaign. So instead of paying one-offs for like product placement and events and things like that, you would hire High Reach for a monthly fee, and we'll get you in as much things as possible. So we already have these relationships with the directors of the music videos. We have these relationships with private dinners, industry events, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll just strategically place you in there for the 1 monthly flat fee. So you'll get much more for your money, and you won't have to worry about last minute involvement in these things, as well as you'll have a cohesive plan and figured out for you. So,
Very smart. Very smart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was great, and I'll probably see you very, very soon.
You will. You will. We need to do coffee again.
Yeah.
For sure.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.